Live in the Salon with Benita and Rita. Welcome. Get a glass of wine and get comfortable. You will be empowered, inspired, and will definitely have a little fun. Hey, you may even learn something new. In the Salon, we host community conversations, so all voices are appreciated. We hope you will enjoy the show. Cheers. Hi, welcome to Live in the Salon with Benita and Rita. I'm Benita.
And I'm Rita.
Glad to see ya.
Hey, girl. I'm so busy looking. Look.
Because he's so cute.
Yeah.
He better looking than me, so I get it.
Okay, you want to start again?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, he better looking than me. We got our favorite production person in the house. Well, one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Pete. And we have an amazing guest today.
Sure do.
I think everybody in Richmond knows him, but of course our viewership is outside of Richmond as well. So we're introducing you to our friend, the man, the legend, Brian Robertson.
Yay.
Welcome to the salon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for hanging
I
out.
have my head on the swivel. So much beauty around me.
Listen to you. We like it. We like it. Keep it coming.
Okay. Yeah.
So Brian is no stranger to Culture Mix Radio.
Yeah.
He knows everybody here. He's helped us with our marketing. So
So we're all a client of yours, aren't we?
Indirectly,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's some way. Yep.
yeah.
And we work together individually on
Yeah.
different things
We have.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
Yes,
have.
we have.
with his company, Marion Marketing Global.
Yeah.
So again, welcome to the set. So
thank you.
we've
for
known each
inviting
other.
me. I've been looking forward to coming on here.
good.
Yes.
Yeah. And it just happened.
It just happened. I ran into you at the Metropolitan Business League Awards banquet, and that was like full circle for us because
Yeah.
we met because you hired me
That's
to work at the
right.
Metropolitan Business
Oh, my
League
goodness.
That's right.
16 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
For
16 years
that's
ago.
right. That's
Yes.
right. For the first Women Who Mean Business Summit.
Yes.
Starring Susie Orman.
Yeah.
Orman.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
It was
Big
a
Oliver.
big deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't
It was a
it
big
so?
deal.
Yep. Yep. So, let's talk about marketing for a minute.
Okay.
Because, we all need it. Some businesses still think we can do without it.
Okay.
And I know you've run the gamut. You've done radio,
Yeah.
print,
Yeah.
probably now some digital stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about where we are in 2026 in marketing.
Well, the more things change, the more they stay the same. So what I mean by that is, I've been in marketing for 30 plus years. Run my own company, it seems like yesterday, for 12 years.
Yeah.
And the same thing holds true for marketing. That anybody listening out there or seeing this is that consistency is the key. All the brands we do business with today, why do we do business with them? Because they consistently had a message out there that convinced us, I need to buy that, or I need to eat that, or I need to use that. And it came from being consistent. And that's the thing I preach to new startup businesses. Even if you have to wait and raise the money, you should never chase the money. We as a people, we come up with so many amazing ideas,
Yeah.
and then we just jump out there. And then someone else comes behind us, takes our idea with more capital and makes it better. And then they take it. I mean, everything from Jif Skippy peanut butter to
anything.
to AI.
I was just telling my
To
daughter
AI.
last night that being a trailblazer is expensive, and they're not typically the ones that make it big because we make all of the trip ups, the mistakes. We spend all of the money, and a lot of times we hemorrhage to the point that we can't recover. But now somebody takes the lessons that we learned, and they don't have to do those things anymore because they learned. Don't do that because she did that. And I, for one, I graciously give you those lessons because I don't want you to fall. But they're the ones that make it successful.
They maximize what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hurtful because I had a client that I've had a lot of success stories, but I've had some not so successful stories where a client got out there ahead of themselves. They took chances, they were aggressive, and due to unforeseen financial trip ups, like you said, mistakes. You know, all that goodwill, all that invention, all that creativity, someone else just came and scooped it up.
Yeah, they got it.
Yep. So.
I have a program now that I've been working on a year. And I remember last summer I was working it out, and I'm saying, okay, if it's 3 weeks, if it's 1 day, 3 weeks, 6 weeks. And it dawned on me, wait a minute. If I put all of this that I'm still working on it now, where do I go? And I went ahead and trademarked it.
That's a great idea.
I did.
You know,
it's Raising Calm.
Yes.
But I was like, and everything comes under it, because I don't want anybody to take this.
Yeah.
Because it's not brain surgery.
Right.
It's very basic.
Right.
So they could change one word. No, I don't want that.
I like that.
Yeah.
And we need to do that. And sometimes, as Brian was saying, we don't put the money into that.
Yeah.
You know, we put the money in the widget, but not how to sell the widget, you know, or how to secure the widget in your case.
Yeah. And I just stopped everything. I mean, I sent it out with $60.
Right.
You know, I did that. They came back. I got a certificate. Put the little C in there. We keep it moving.
We good. Yeah.
But Brian, you were saying there are typically a couple of things. Consistency is one. I hear it all the time. What else? What else?
Always raise money. If you know, always be raising money. Figure out. So you don't want to start a business and chase the money. In other words, we as a people are the greatest when it comes to ideas, revolutionary ideas, game changers. And now think about the clothing industry. You know, a lot of things that we saw back in the day, you could give to a celebrity or someone raising up like and they wear it and then it get noticed and then boom. But nowadays, that's not the case. You got to continue to find ways to raise money, grant money. You know, we do a lot of videos for people that do GoFundMe. You know, GoFundMe's. And again, we as a people are sometimes ashamed of going after GoFundMe's, but GoFundMe's is how the other people raise the funds, and they'd be surprised. Man, people, strangers out there, they're looking for GoFundMe's. Give them $5.
And
They don't care.
Kiva is another one.
Kiva's another one. They'll
Kiva
match.
done it?
Kiva is a loan
program that the
investment
MBL
loan.
does.
Yeah.
So the way Kiva works is they set, like you meet with Kiva, they go over how their program works. You set a goal. If you hit that goal, they find money to match it. So if you raise $10,000, they'll give you another $10,000 at a 1% rate.
Okay.
Loan rate.
Okay.
It is a loan, but 1%, and you agree on the terms.
Yeah, because I'm a Kiva investor, so you know I mean, not a huge investor because I don't have your money, but you know, I put like a couple $100 on Kiva, and then when you see projects and you invest in that person.
Right.
That's good.
And they may pay you back $5 a month, but you help them. You know, you're getting the money back, and I just leave it there and just put that money into somebody else's project.
That's good.
You know,
That's good.
yeah, it does help.
Now you mentioned grants, and I always question that because for profits.
Yeah, there are grants out there for profits. There are contests as well. For Rhett Farrell, who, as we know, is a big media mogul and fashion and all of that now. He has a program, and there are a lot of them. And with AI, all you got to do is Google them. There are a lot of grants out there
for profits.
That you can, you know, and there's a list. There are obviously more for nonprofits. But just today, I had a friend of mine that came over with an idea. And luckily, they ran it past me. Some of my clients call me a dream killer, but I actually want them to do the diligence.
We all want the
okay, you got this great idea for a nonprofit. I said, okay, so you know you're gonna have to have a board. You got to have people that you trust. It takes a year almost to get a nonprofit because of political reasons and. How is it going to make money? It still has to make money.
Yeah, it's still a business.
Nonprofits make money,
right?
You know, and you got to have the right people. You got to have an idea that will sell. Just because you think of nonprofit, you think of wonderful.
Yeah.
You need almost a focus group.
Yeah.
To
Exactly.
run it
And that's
past.
what I'm doing now with I call it a pilot.
Yeah.
But with the Raise and Calm, and so I did the first 3 weeks and have changed so much.
You have to do
And
it.
you gotta
I'm getting ready to do it again.
You can't be
you think
married
about,
to it.
Okay, so you did the right thing. You trademarked it. Then you want to get a domain name.
Yes, that's what I don't have.
That if it doesn't have to match the trademark, because the trademark name might be an umbrella, but you have to get a domain name, and you can look online and see what domain name. Does the domain name fit the product that you're selling? It should. Just like your business name, unless you're Verizon and you can spend millions of dollars telling people, what the hell is a Verizon?
Right.
It better match something that your idea is trying to get together. And then you need an NDA agreement, NDA.
Right.
Because
Non-disclosure
everybody
agreement.
you talk to, you got to talk to people. You have to have a banker, attorney. You need to have investors, maybe. So you have to have them sign an NDA.
And that's important because not only are you talking to people, those people are talking to people. And before you know it, your idea is way down the street and gone.
Yep.
So
you have that's.
I think sometimes we do talk too much, but I know we do have
We
to.
do.
We do have to
we're
talk.
Excited,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we want to share and something.
And we're also trying to get affirmation, which is not always good because everybody's not going to like it, and it can
Exactly.
just crush people.
Last
And this
night-
is your idea, it's not theirs.
So I was at the MBL Awards, which you were. This gentleman named Mad Skills, he won a Grammy for spoken word, right? And he said something very important, which is very important to all entrepreneurs. Everyone can't see your vision. And when he told people he wanted to do a spoken word album, he got hang-ups. People didn't call him back. Funders didn't call him back. Artists didn't call him back. He didn't let it sway him. He persisted, and he didn't listen to the doubters, and then he won a Grammy.
That's good.
Yeah.
And B Love, who is from this area, he was on the album as well.
Yay. I know
So,
B Love.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, I don't.
He's a friend of Navy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. So whatever you're working on, marketing has changed in the last 30 years, but it really hasn't. You gotta be consistent. You gotta have your house in order, like the trademark and and all the infrastructure, the domain name, and then you gotta have a reason why, and test your idea on a focus group, but don't let it dissuade you. If they don't get it,
Right.
you still got the
Right.
vision. You still want to move, but maybe what they say helps you hone it. A lot of clients of mine do focus groups, and we hash out the idea. We don't change the idea. We don't stop it.
Yeah,
but we hash it out.
exactly. I'm not doing it, but I had to change my material.
Yes.
And how easy is that?
And we have to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Because things change.
Yeah,
and it
because-
causes you to change.
And like I said, I started last year, and that was last year. This was a whole different year, a whole different political piece. The issues are different,
Yeah.
so we'll always be doing that, which I don't mind.
So I
want it to be fresh.
I got a quick question. We got a couple
Okay.
minutes before
All right.
our break.
Oh, okay.
Radio versus, it's going to be 3-part. Radio versus TV versus social media. If we got $300, how would you divide that $300 in marketing?
I'll probably tell you make flyers.
No, you got to answer the question.
If you got $300,
I mean, I'm just using that small number. It could be 3,000.
$300, I hate to say it, but I probably would put it in social media, only because if you got $300, you could probably go further and then use TikTok. And I don't use TikTok.
That's good.
But I would probably use TikTok with my $300 to get it out there. I'd probably take the $300 and buy T-shirts
Okay.
and then promote it on TikTok. The message you're trying to get out.
Right. Okay. I like that.
But I love radio.
Are we
more
still
than I
listening now since a lot of us stream
Yeah.
and we got other options other than traditional radio?
So that's a great question. So real quick before you go to break, even though you got Spotify, Pandora, and your own playlist, 90% of people still listen to terrestrial radio
Oh.
because they want to know what just happened, and the DJs can tell them, and then the DJs can feed them gossip. They can feed them information. You know, I still listen to NPR radio occasionally because I want to hear what's going on right now.
Right.
So 90% is still, and so that's why radio is still effective.
Okay. Thank you for that. Because I think a lot of us
And they raised
shifted.
big money a week ago.
Right.
'Cause I had
Okay.
to give up somebody else. And when I gave up somebody else, I went to NPR for the first time in my life. And
Congratulations.
Now I'm hooked.
So we got to take this quick break.
Yeah,
but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Live in the Salon with Benita and Rita. And we're back with Live in the Salon with Benita and Rita and our guest, Brian Robertson. So y'all know I drink wine, right? And I sell wine and I do wine events. So we're going to do a little wine exercise while we're on the show today, okay? And this came up because the other day, my friend Rita said she doesn't know what people mean when they say sweet wine.
Yes,
so we're going to
sweet,
play
really
around
sweet.
with some wines.
Okay.
One is sweet. One is fruit forward, so it's fruity. So what's the difference between that? And then one is dry. So we're going to just do some wine tasting because that's what we do here. Just a sip, sip, because I know you're cutting back.
Yes.
Okay? But what did you tell me?
Thank you. Huh?
It's only 4 points, and we're not even going to have a whole glass. So
But I had points from last night. So
that's yesterday.
That's
This is a new
yesterday.
day.
It's a new
This is a
cycle.
new day.
my brain didn't realize that though.
So all of these wines can be found locally. I got these from the Kroger.
Yeah.
Right? So
No,
you don't
K.
have to go.
Rogers, you know, it's K. Rogers.
K. Rogers. Lord.
This is a commercial. I mean, this was a
Rogers.
comedian.
Like
and the guy
Taj
said
Day.
he met this woman and she was so fine. And he said, I think I'm in love. And so he finally got her to go out. And she said, look, I got to pick up something from the store. He said, okay, where we going? She said, K. Rogers.
And he still wanted to be with her. Bless
He
his
left her.
heart.
He left her right at K. Rogers. But I think that is the funniest.
All right, so let's
That
cheers.
sounds like a story.
So the first one I poured is called Vouvray. So it's not very popular around here, but it is from the south of France. It goes really nicely. This is the perfect time of year for Vouvray. It's really good with like seafood, like think scallops, those types of food, oysters. You know, you could do this or muscadet, another one that's not very common. But this one, what you're going to find, is going to taste a little sweet, but it's not sugar. It's fruit forward. So that's that side of sweet. And then we're going to taste sweet, okay?
All right.
And we can still sip wine while we talk marketing.
This is good.
You like it, right? It's light, has some citrus.
It's like not
But
all
it's
the way
not
like
sweet.
It's not sweet. It would be classified a dry wine.
right, but with the people who say sweet, I think they're almost talking Kool-Aid.
We got that.
Yeah.
We got
That
Kool-Aid.
must be
And so what's so crazy, I'm talking now to the sweet wine lovers out there. When you really want sweet, and I noticed this today in Kroger, also known as K. Rogers, that when you, in their section is labeled sweet, it is all, not putting down any wine, but, let's be honest. Stella Rosa is one of the top selling wines in this country, and it is a lot of sugar. So they don't have a lot of wines in there that's not just straight sugar. Like they have some other, like you can find a Moscato d'Asti, but not much in the grocery store, which is a more natural made product, not added sugar. It's very sweet, but those are just better made.
How do you spell that?
What? Moscato?
Moscato. No, Moscato I know. M-U-S-C-A-T-A.
M-O-S-C-A-T-O. Yeah.
But the other one, I don't know what you said now.
I don't know what I said now.
Yeah.
I mean, why you ask me?
Yeah.
I'm confused. So we like
So
this,
this
right?
is like similar
Yeah.
to yours too, which
It
you
is
could
similar
easily
to
get
yours.
from yours,
Right.
Because that is my all time.
Well, I'm transitioning. I'm
Okay.
pivoting
Okay,
from the wine space.
okay.
For real.
I am.
Where your
To
bottles?
what?
Where
What
your
you
bottles?
pivoting to?
Well, Well, it depends. Let's see what happens in the Commonwealth of Virginia. If our dear governor and company, pass some cannabis laws, I do want to do that because I just got to be honest.
What is it called?
Not CBD. I need THC.
Straight.
Because
okay.
because the wine industry is not robust. We're all
happened, Benita, do you think?
Young people don't drink like
That's
we
what I've
do.
Heard. That's
Right.
what I've heard.
And it's been replaced by all those canned cocktails.
Right. So we got to kind of pivot.
I switched
Celsius.
I switched to whiskey, but I know that they didn't.
No, they switched to cans. It's crazy.
So now we're going to go to sweet, right? So this is a Riesling, and we all know Rieslings. And so Rieslings can be dry or they can be sweet. This one isn't even the sweetest Riesling, right?
Okay.
But so what happens with
now.
Riesling?
I'm trying to suck it down.
Oh, let me pour lighter.
Thank you.
The good thing about Riesling, because it can be dry or super sweet,
like everybody's seeing.
it is typically when you buy Riesling, there's a little gauge on the back of the bottle to tell you, so the arrow's here. So this one is medium sweet, but closer to the sweets. I'm going to show you. So typically when you see Riesling, so you don't have to guess. So, because I have a Riesling story, right? Riesling was the first wine that I was introduced to after Reuniti and
Lord,
Reuniti and White Zinfandel.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So there was this.
That was the
thing because that's what it was.
It was
easy, inexpensive.
That's right.
And so this guy, we used to go to this restaurant called James River Bistro.
Okay.
It was right there on Main and Lombardi.
Okay.
It's been a million things,
Right,
but it was right there.
right.
And so the guy, he was an amazing maitre d'.
Okay.
And so I said, Maurice was his name. I said, I want to drink something other than, well, all I'll drink is White Zinfandel. Show me something else. So he showed me Riesling. And so the Riesling was good. So I'm trying to be grown 2 days later, and I go to Food Lion. That's still called Food Lion, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I go to Food Lion.
Not something
Not
else.
nothing else, right? It's Food Lion. So I go to Food Lion. And I get a Riesling because, I can spell and I can see what it say. So I got home and I was like, this is not what I had in the restaurant. So we went to this restaurant a couple times a week because we really liked it.
Right.
And they liked us. So went back to the restaurant and I said, Maurice, this one right.
Help me out.
And he said, well, Rieslings can be bone dry or they could be super sweet. So I was like, ugh. And that really was my first introduction or to myself that I want to learn about wine because I didn't want to make that mistake. And so when I opened the wine shops, it was to sell wine, but it was also to educate people
yourself.
like myself to go to the grocery store and be able to make a sensible decision.
Yeah.
So with Riesling, this is going to be sweet, but it's not added sugar. So, when you make wine, it starts sweet, and so the alcohol comes from the sugar turns into alcohol. So they stop the fermentation of the wine at a certain level to leave a certain level of sugar, and it's natural sugar that comes from the grape. To leave that sugar, and they measure that. It's called Brix, Brix.
Okay.
And so that's how you measure the sugar in the wine. So this would be one that you could take to your people. Now, sometimes these aren't even sweet enough for the people that really want sweet, but I think this is probably going to be about the top that we can handle in terms of sweet.
Whoa, this is sweet.
So
And it has a, you could, before I even put it up.
Yeah, you really can, yeah.
And so I'm not a sweet wine person typically, but you can find great uses for it. Like if you're drinking or eating Asian foods, this is amazing with those flavors.
And stuff like that.
It's the flavors, those Asian flavors. If you're eating spicy foods, the heat with the sweet is a perfect pairing. It kind of puts out the fire.
Yeah,
so
I
you
can
can find the use for it.
So what was the difference between Zinfandel, or no, the Riesling that you had at the restaurant and the one you bought?
The one I bought was dry.
Okay.
And so,
does it say that, or you just have to know it?
So now, back
you know what it
then,
looked.
this was like 05, right? Or no, this was late 90s.
Yeah, because you had open
So they
the
didn't
rest.
have the little gauge on the back of the
Got
bottle.
it.
So I didn't know. But now, most of them I see have that gauge.
Okay. Isn't that cute?
Now, they have, some of the
Pacific
Rieslings,
green.
especially the ones from Germany, they have different names for the level of sweetness. Now, that comes with the wine education. So, but they still, they understand that most of their wine is exported from Germany to here. And so you gotta make it Americanized by putting that gauge on it, because
Okay.
most people don't know what a Baron Lasa is, that it's gonna be super sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, but I like the other one better because this one is sweet.
It's
Yeah,
super sweet.
yeah.
Now we're gonna go with a red, and this one is from Italy. And so a lot of times you see these little bands around the wines that are made in Europe. So this one is a DOC. So in Italy, they have like the DOCG, which is the top, and most Moscato d'Astis you find are going to be DOCG. And so their government takes a real serious approach to wine because it's a big part of their economy. So they have to pay attention. And so they are strict about what's in the bottle. They make sure what you say is in that bottle is in that bottle. If you say it's grown at this place and you have it on that label, they make sure it's there. So that's the only one you get these types of
Okay.
designations on your bottle. So I'm pouring a red, and this is where we live. I know you love red.
I do love red, but this is real dry. You said.
This one is dry. So
Just,
this
just
is
cover the bottom.
this is a Montepulciano de Abruzzo.
Good. Good.
Oh, well, just give me what's left, girl. Stop. What?
You know, it
I
ain't got a
tried.
little heavy.
I try. I gotta feed the producer. So this is, what you. All right, I'm gonna teach you something else about the bottles. So we look at vintages. 2024 is this vintage. This is when these grapes were harvested.
Okay.
So it may have stayed in the bottle for 2 years, but the date on there is the date that you picked those grapes.
Okay.
Okay. So
And so, why do we need to know that?
because some people think, just because it got an old date is better
Okay.
or whatever, but you got to know the grape. Everything ain't meant to last forever.
Right. Right.
People save wine, and by the time you open it, it's trash because you have it. It was 95% is meant to drink today.
Right. Or
so-
some wines are better kept cold, and
Some
wines
are better cold, but when you're storing them, you want cool and dark
Okay.
because sun and heat is the enemy, and air. So cheers, y'all.
Here.
That's the wine lesson. So when we get into red, like
You
this,
like it?
That's definitely dry.
this
Yeah.
is dry.
I actually like the first one. the best.
So when you get into like the reds, like I've done a class that is called Old World versus New World. Old World is Europe, New World is everybody else. Because in Europe, we've all been. Wine is a part of the of the
Daily
the
life.
food, right?
Yeah.
And so you make it to go with those foods. So you don't,
Yeah.
and
This
so
seems like this is a good
this is a-
wine with beef.
it is, and this would be great with pasta. It's Italian. It would be good with those tomatoes. And so,
And olives.
and then they do like, you have the fatty foods, the hams and prosciuttos and mortadella, those things. So the acid kind of pairs with the fat. So this has
Gotcha.
a lot of acid in it, which makes it a great accompaniment to food.
But white, for the most part, is seafood.
Or chicken,
Yeah.
or, by itself.
Yeah.
But just some useless trivia while we got a minute. Typically we did whites with fish, but salmon and Pinot Noir
Yeah.
is a classic pairing because salmon is a fatty fish,
Yeah, it is.
Right.
and Pinot Noir has a lot of acid, so it goes wonderfully with salmon. And I know you cook a lot of salmon.
You know I do.
Do you like Pinot Noir?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Next show we'll bring a chef and
You
So
know,
are there
Keith
certain-
called me today.
he'll bring us
Is
some
there
salmon.
certain brands of Pinot Noir that are
So-
better than?
And from Europe, yes, Burgundies are Pinot Noir. French Burgundies are Pinot Noir. And in America, from Willamette Valley, Oregon, they are the mothership of where they grow the best Pinot Noir in this country.
Who was that friend of yours that bought land? Not bought land. He rented.
Yeah,
land
Andre Mack.
Andre Mack.
Andre Mack.
He,
Mr. Mack.
he rented
Yes.
land in Oregon because it was so good, and he didn't buy it. He said, "You ain't gotta buy it.
Right.
Yeah,
You
just
rent
lease it.
You know,
Yeah.
which I just thought was brilliant.
And grew his.
So we're
Yeah.
going to wind on into our next break.
Yeah.
So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back with Live in the Salon with Benita and Rita. And we're back live in the salon with Benita and Rita. And so I neglected to thank the Culture Mix Radio family for allowing us to be here. So
Yeah.
we're happy to be in the studio.
Yeah.
So during the break, we started talking about down memory lane and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to pivot a little bit because Brian is blessed to be the dad of two amazing young men. One is already an attorney, and one is finishing up law school, I think.
Yep. May
So,
9th.
Good.
God
May
willing.
9th?
2026.
God
Like in a
willing.
couple,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Less than a
Yeah,
month.
that's
That,
it.
I
From
think,
where?
UDC, University District.
I think when I met you, he was he in 9th grade?
Yeah, he was young.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
young.
So
He might have been younger than that because we've known each other.
for a long time.
So you said
16
Oliver,
years.
at least 16 years. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty young. High school.
So
Yeah.
say something, because there's people
Oh,
out
I
here. We're
would just
struggling to
say-
raise these
I
amazing
would
young
just
men.
say women cannot raise boys by themselves, even though I know you had
Yeah, but I agree with you.
in a little bit. But
You've had.
I wasn't by myself. I had my dad, but I do understand.
But what I mean is, that's the number one rule. Can't and any woman that I would say, if you're out there dating, a woman dating, that choose the man carefully who's going to be around your kids, because a lot of people say, "Oh, your son," but I had a great father.
Yeah.
So I was able to pass down what I learned to my boys. And it wasn't like one of those things where I was fortunate where, I wish like a lot of men say, I wish I'm going to make sure I don't treat my dad, my sons like my dad. No, I had a great father. He was a disciplinarian. He didn't let me get away with nothing. Although my older brother would say I got away with murder. But I got discipline, and I think you need to have that, because I remember when I grew up how much I appreciated him, and I still hear him in my head.
Yeah.
With advice
Right.
and things like that, and I passed that same thing on to my boys. And even though they didn't understand it, especially the teenage years where they're bucking up, they're rebelling a little. Yeah, it was hard work. Everyone look at them now, the finished product, but it's hard work. And I want to say to parents, it ain't easy. You can't be their friend, okay? You can't
Start
be
there.
their
Start
friend.
there. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to be the parent. I was listening to National Talk Radio today. It was a sports radio, and the gentleman I have a lot of respect for, he's a national radio host, and his sons are taller than him. He lets his sons call him by his first name.
Yeah,
And
no.
I was thinking,
Yeah, no.
I would never,
Yeah.
I would never,
Nanny
and my
still
sons
calls me
would
mommy.
never.
She
My
says
sons-
mommy.
Yeah.
They do too.
Yeah.
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 But my sons grew up in a desegregated world,
Right.
and their friends would get away. Don't bring that here.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Don't bring that here. It's Mister to you.
But that's true
And-
about the friendship. Because
Yeah.
my daughter,
A lot of parents want to
Yeah.
be friends.
my
And
daughter's
I was-
33, and I'm just starting to like her.
Yeah.
Because at maybe about 26, that she
But-
started being likable.
And that's
But
the
I
other
loved her.
thing. Girls, they think that, once they get a certain age, especially if they're born to a mom who they're born early, they think when they reach adulthood they can call their mom and the whole thing. No, you don't let that happen.
Yeah.
You don't let
She
my
never
sons.
changed.
They don't even curse around me.
Right.
And they hear me curse when I get upset.
Right.
But they won't curse. And if they do, they say excuse me because they're
that's
fired up about something. It's just the way you raise them. And then I think the church has a lot to do with it. You should get your kids involved with church at an early age. It's not too late. I know a lot of churches are dying, going out of business.
But that's not the point.
And stuff, but it's getting them in there.
And I always say that we're talking spiritual. So if church is a difficult thing, there are enough churches where they have songs and they have
You can
prayer,
find what you
where
want.
you can find what
Music,
you want.
if they're into music.
If it's music, whatever it is. But
But being in church matters.
it does.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
does.
it does.
It matters that you talk about it in the house.
And you know it matters the most when they're going through stuff.
Yes.
Where
Yes.
they're going through stuff.
Yes.
And they got that religion to lean on. And then communication, you know, when they get older, I find my sons call me in their darkest hours. You know, you don't hear from them until like they need something, but they at least feel like they can call me, discuss things that
And that's
are
a blessing.
important to
Absolutely.
them, or if they're having issues, you know. So yeah.
Now,
so,
are you involved in? I know you're an alpha.
Yeah.
Are you involved in any other, like, male mentor?
Yeah. So that's funny, you know. I'm involved with civic organizations and things like that, but I never got involved with 100 Men, 100 Black Men Coalition, anything like that.
The Boule.
I never got involved with the Masons.
Okay.
But I speak to a lot of young groups. I speak to a lot of young people. As a matter of fact, the last content creator thing that Navy had, I spoke at it because there was a bunch of young people in there, and they're trying to get their words out, and they're trying to figure out where they should go. And I was there, and I spoke to them about.
And I'm gonna have to shout that out real quick. The NM Legacy Marketing.
Yeah.
They have a digital conference coming up. Like
it's called Digital Impact.
Yes, and they do great work. And they bring in great speakers. I met a few of them last night at the NBL award ceremony. But I asked you about, there's a movie called The Forge, and there's a book called The Algebra of Wealth by Scott Galloway.
Okay.
So my friend in Maryland, you know, he pulled together a whole bunch of affluent Black men, and they're coming together to do this men's fellowship, but it's going to be ongoing. And so it was an application process, and my son, who filled out his paperwork, he's going to be a part of it, because my son, although I think around the time he was 9 is when I left his dad, and then even the life was kind of rocky before that, but we were blessed because I was raised, everybody knows I was raised by a single father. And my father was with us until that child was 19 years old. So my son was grown when my father passed away. And he attributes everything, he told me the day he died, he said, everything I know, I learned from him. And so just to piggyback on what you said, it is important to have positive men in these young men's lives. And if you're not fortunate enough to be surrounded by them, because some of us, we just don't have them in our life, and we choose not to date, or, you know, until we can get to a place. Try to find some of these groups, because there are some groups that do some good things.
Here's a full circle marketing method. So a friend of mine named Robert Dortch, I know both of y'all probably
He was on the
know
show.
him.
We had Robert.
All right, Robert. Robert, I didn't know Robert from Adam, right? I went to JMU.
And he's got 2 boys.
Exactly. Took him to Mount whatever. I mean, he wrote
He
a
went
whole
to Mount
book.
Kilimanjaro.
He wrote a whole book about. So I met Robert through the MBL several years ago. Come to find out, he went to JMU. He pledged my fraternity, which I founded that chapter.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
So he learned who I was before. And so we came up and met me. He told me all about the whole experience and everything. Fast forward, I'm at a conference this weekend, a Black men's conference, and they recognize his group, Ujima. So how come I never heard about Ujima?
What?
How come
Reggie Gordon, Billy Cool.
I do know that group.
How come these Black organizations...
What, 10 years easily?
No, more than that.
don't market themselves don't talk about
I don't know.
themselves.
I
They've
think
got a good following.
They
Yeah,
do,
but
and they
they-
do great work.
And I've heard of Ujima.
Yeah.
But until that day when they got an award and Robert standing up there, and I'm
Yeah.
saying he's never once mentioned Ujima to me.
They do great work.
Interesting.
Never.
There's
and
a
I would
women's
say,
group, too.
I would say the 100 Black Coalition, you hear about them when they have their events.
Yes.
You don't hear about them anymore.
Right.
You know? And that
Interesting.
disappoints me because all these organizations need
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they do great work.
Because I probably would be with what
Oh, yeah.
Ujima does.
Oh, yeah.
And by Robert
Yeah.
founding it.
Yeah. And Reggie Gordon. And
Yeah,
others,
Reggie
Billy
Gordon. Bill Cooper.
He's a part. Yeah.
And I would have been in it. But I never, and these guys, they're like, I guess they talk to some people about, but I think they should. I think that's one of the things we don't do enough of. We don't tell others and we don't market it enough.
We don't. We do. We do need to talk more about that.
Because I think, in that room there were a lot of you men, and like I found out about that conference at the last minute on a Friday. The conference is the next day. Just like I ran into you. I found out about that. If I had known about it, I would have brought Bryce. I would have brought other people. I would have told other people. Because that was a great conference about mentoring the Black men, and it's good for young Black men to see other Black men.
Absolutely.
They're talking
And one
about.
thing I love about you, Brian,
He shows up, if nothing else.
right? And he doesn't make excuses. Like you have some people who would say, like you find out about something that's going on tomorrow. Oh man, I found out the last minute. You ain't doing nothing tomorrow.
Right.
Go.
Right.
Brian is gonna go. If he doesn't have a conflict, even if he can't stay the whole time, he's gonna show up. And that's what we, all Black people, not just Black men, we gotta show up for each other.
Because you don't know unless you go.
You don't know.
But I got to pull you back a minute, only because I've worked a lot with single moms, and one of the things that always upsets me is when they say, I don't need a man, my kids don't need a man.
Yeah, you do.
And listen, I
You do.
stopped them because you've got these kids growing up with grandmama and auntie, everybody's single, everybody's talking bad about men. And it's like, what in the world do you, and that's what my Raising Calm is about. How did you grow up? And now what are you bringing to your kids?
Right.
And again, this whole uncovering of this Raising Calm is literally about us trying to break the whatever cycles there are.
Here's the crazy thing. The neighborhood that I live in is quote unquote affluent, but everybody that lives in the neighborhood, and it's mostly white, all everybody that lives in the neighborhood are two-parent households.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. All I'm saying is, and I'm going to take back, if you have girls or boys, because girls suffer from not having a man
That's exactly right.
differently. Because
We make bad
guys,
decisions.
predators, they recognize when a girl, first thing ask about your parents, they exploring. If you ain't have a dad really in your life,
listen.
oh man, they're a dog.
I said, my daddy met you at the door.
Yeah.
And both of my girls had my dad and my ex's dad.
Right. You gotta have
and
men
uncles.
involved.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that in. We can't just think about.
But where did
ourselves.
that come from? I think social media
mad?
has proliferated the idea. I'm not saying that, but social media again has proliferated the idea that it's okay.
It was before
you got people
that.
like Cardi B
It was
and people
before
like
that.
that oh, I don't need a man,
It was before that.
It was before that.
Because I know,
think is
but that's
made
they're
it
mad
worse.
at the man. And
They
they're
mad
blaming
at
him.
him.
And they're not taking responsibility for the part they played in.
You preaching.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you was asking.
Yeah, that's right. So we got to get ready to go home. But this has been an amazing
Thank
conversation.
you for inviting me, ladies.
Thank you for coming. Brian.
I'm like, wow. I mean, we got to have you back because we got to talk more about this.
It's good when it's good, and then and then we say we got to have him back. So yeah.
Well, what we
So
know
the
about
fun,
Brian,
I'll
he'll
leave you
come
with
back.
this. I'll leave you with this. Okay.
All right.
I told someone, they said, Brian, how do you get clients? And I say, well, one thing I know is I've never had a friend become a client. But I've had a lot of clients.
That have become friends.
Amen.
Amen.
That's good.
Yep.
We're going to call that segment the final sip. We just added a new segment, the final sip. So I'm going to cheers to
The
that.
final sip.
So I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank all of y'all for listening and viewing and sharing. However you're seeing this can be shared.
Yeah.
We want you to stay tuned and always tune in to Culture Mix Radio every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 6. You can find us on TuneIn. I listen on TuneIn. I don't know where everybody listen. That's why I listen. But just find us and listen. We thank you again, Rita.
And we got YouTube.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Oh, cheers, girl.
Love you.
Yeah.
Love you
Yeah.
both.
Thanks, folks.